it has come to my motherfucking goddamn gay attention that it is Super Tuesday and voters are headed to the polls. Here to report the story live, everybody's favorite, Bob from Channel 8.
Reporting live from Spirit Squad Worldwide, Bob from Channel 8. Bob.
Super Tuesday is a day where voters are headed to the polls as Trump and Biden look to move closer to a November rematch. Trump is aiming to further build his GOP delegate advantage over Nikki Haley, while Biden is poised to sweep the next round of Democratic contestants. Reporting live, Bob from Channel 8.
Reporting live from Spirit Squad Worldwide, Bob from Channel 8. Bob.
Recently, like one of these posts that I posted up a couple of weeks ago, I said I don't vote, and I don't. I am of a generation where I'm very skeptical about anything that is administered to us by our government. I feel like voting is a ploy to get people to pay attention to something that they control, and they really don't control shit. You know what I'm saying? And we really don't control shit. That's my formal opinion. So I really have been out of the loop when it comes to what's going on with this goddamn gay election or whatever. I previously read the election, and I said that Kamala Harris will indeed become the president of the United States. And I was asked yesterday at a very inappropriate time, about the election, who's going to win the election, X, Y, and Z. But before I properly read anything, I definitely have to provide context to what I am perceiving and what I am going to reread for you guys. So without further ado, introducing Mayor Pro Tem of Marino Valley, Miss Shay Bernard. Yes, she's a real Mayor Pro Tem, bitch, and she's one of my clients. Give her a warm round of applause and introduce her to the show in the right gay.
Hi.
Introducing again, did I get your title right? Mayor Pro Tem of Marino Valley, California?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Miss Shay, she's been a client of mine for about a good 4 or 5 years. And every time that we are in our appointments, we banter about politics and things of that nature. And I told her that she needs to get herself prepared for coming on my show and educating us on these politics that are going on. So as somebody who's in the political arena, what is this Super Tuesday? Why should I care? And what the hell is really going on?
So Super Tuesday is where we are going to determine who's moving forward to the general election. For this year, it's going to be the presidential election. So who the Republicans are sending forward, who the Democrats are sending forward, as well as a lot of your congressional runoffs are going to be handled today, too, about who's moving forward for your congressional runoffs.
And Congress are the people, they make the laws, right? Congress makes the laws. The Senate administers the laws, right? And the judicial branch locks your black ass the fuck up, right?
The judicial branch does not lock your black ass up because they're unable to lock your black ass up, but they are able to help decide different cases that are falling under different branches to make sure that the rules and the laws are being enforced correctly.
Okay, so just for contextual purposes before I read this, we are electing who each party is going to back in terms of becoming the next president of the United States, as well as congressional members who are going to have a vote on certain policies that will be passed on a state level, correct?
No, on a national level. So every 2 years, half of your Congress is up for votes. Every 2 years, half of the Congress is up.
Got it. So we're recycling them based upon the evolution of mentality with the people, correct?
Yes. So think about it like this. Every 2 years, you're renewing your contract. Every 2 years, Congress is renewing their contract with you.
Okay, cool. Just making sure that I'm on one accord with what is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nikki Haley's in the race. She's from South Carolina. I'm from North Carolina. And I will be honest about this in saying that I signed up for her little text message letters when she first came out because I think I was at the beach at that time too. And she came on the screen. I was at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and they're promoting her heavy down there. Like real, like her state is really rah for her. And I subscribed to the text updates. But she was sending about 10 text messages a motherfucking day. I had to unsubscribe to that motherfucking shit. But who is Nikki Haley? What is she about? Like, I heard she had some controversy with the Civil War going on. Talk to me about Nikki.
Okay, so Nimrata, as I like to call her, because that's her government name.
Hold on. What?
Nimrata Nikki Haley.
Nim-
That's her government.
Nimrata?
Nimrata.
That's Indian, isn't it? I know that name.
Mm-hmm. Her parents are from India. Her parents came here to teach. Actually, her dad taught at an HBCU, and that's how her family came to the United States. So she is running against Donald Trump.
Go back.
Yes.
Wait, Nimrata is this woman's name?
That is her government. Her real name.
Nimrod is an Indian deity that makes people go dumb. So she's named after an Indian deity. So she's going by Nikki Haley to
make herself more approachable to those that lack color.
Oh. Well, damn. Okay, so basically, she's appropriating her ethnicity to obtain the white vote, and unlike I did not know that. So I guess they don't know that either. I guess you know what I'm saying.
No,
because
people,
there's a lot of racist
seem to forget that.
Yeah, I mean, I never knew it. So thank you for shedding a light on this shit. Okay, so what's her stance? I'm sorry.
So she is running to replace Donald Trump on the ticket. She's not going to replace him on the ticket as the Republican nominee, but she's gonna stay in this race until the wheels fall off.
Okay, so she's just in it just to be in it. Do you think that she's going to back the president if he is the one who is because I was watching The View earlier, okay, when Facebook and Instagram went down or whatever, and they were talking about what are exit votes? Like, these are votes that Biden would get just because they don't want to vote for Trump and they wouldn't mind voting for Nikki. Is that what that is?
So exit votes are essentially, so essentially these votes can go to Biden because they're like, you know what, we don't want to vote for Trump. And if both names are on the ballot, they're able to select, like if they're able to select a Democrat, they'll select Biden. Or they can say, we'll select Nikki Haley. What we're thinking is going to end up happening is the third of the delegates are up. Nikki Haley is not going to win. She won D.C., but that's about all she's won.
I saw that. Like they were saying that on The View that she did win D.C., but so the trajectory is not good for her to. She's not going to get on the ticket. So let me get this straight. When people are running for president, there are only one backed by each party, just one candidate backed by each party?
Yeah, because they have to coalesce around one candidate because you're thinking money, resources. And so the official nomination will happen at the nomination conventions, which will happen in August for the Democrats and the Republicans.
So if you don't have that kind of backing, then you're basically like, if you don't have a party assigned to you, you're basically a fish out of water. Like, you're not going to be able to compete with all the advertising, the marketing, and anything like this. This is why we haven't seen a non-Republican or Democratic candidate become the president of the United States.
So, so we tried to do third-party candidates. The problem with a third-party candidate is the amount of money it actually takes to get on the national stage and coalescing around that third-party candidate, because most people will only recognize a two-party system, which is Democrats and Republicans. If you don't have the money, you can't compete on these stages.
You can't even compete. You can't even fucking compete unless the public wants you that bad, and then that's where fundraising comes into play.
Does.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, okay. So politics is making so much more sense, like it always does when I talk to you. So I thank you for being here with us today. Okay, so Super Tuesday. This is about voters going out and nominating who they want as a Republican or Democrat to represent them. Democrats really don't have no part in this because we're just backing Biden because he's already in office, correct?
Yeah, so generally if the incumbent's already in office, they automatically or typically, unless they step out of the game, they're automatically going to get the backing of the party. They're just going through the rigmarole. Yeah.
So if Biden said, I'm old, I can't do this shit no more, which is what he needs to say.
Then we would step somebody else. We would actually have all of these people showing up, and we would have an actual race to figure out who the nominee is going to
Got
be.
it. So now we're there. So this is basically a Super Tuesday because they're superly finding out who is going to try to take
Yeah.
Biden out of the White House at this time for the Republican Party. That is
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I know this might be avant-garde, but who are you voting for? Are you voting? I mean, what are you doing?
I,
If you don't have voters' apathy, I assume.
No, I don't have voter apathy. I will vote if there's only one thing on the ballot because I believe in making sure that we're always represented at all times.
Okay, now as a millennial with the opposite viewpoint and being very much so rooted in conspiracy, what would you say to me to get me to actually go out there and do it? Because again, I feel like politics ain't nothing but a play played out in front of us where they make us feel like our voice counts and it doesn't. What would you say to someone like me?
So what I would say is this. I understand what everyone feels on the national level because a lot of us don't have the pedigree to climb up that ladder.
Yeah.
We didn't go to Harvard. We didn't go to Yale. But at your local level, your school board, your city councils, your county supervisors, places where they gonna screw you first in taxes, places where they educate your children, that's where the game is really played. That's where I think the most change can happen. Because those are all direct votes counting. When we get to things like president, that's
And
what we're talking about, electoral
stuff.
college and things.
So you're saying at a local level, you can actually see the ballots being counted. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
On
you
that
can go
national
witness
level,
ballots being counted. Yeah.
yeah. But see, again, I lived in a time period where Hillary Clinton actually won the popular vote, and they gave it to fucking Donald Trump. So to me,
Because
that
electoral college. That's what we
What-
keep trying to overturn is the electoral college and just win by popular vote. Every other election is decided by popular vote except for president.
And that's based upon the region, demographic, and population, correct?
Partly, but it's an old archaic system, I believe, because when it was in place, it was because there were certain areas that did not have a lot of population, and so they didn't want them to feel left out. So that's why they were collecting electoral college.
You are a basin of knowledge, like an encyclopedia on my show right now. Thank you, Shay. I so love this dialogue. This is something great. Okay. So again, I guess you can say that I am nationally apathetic, but like you said in the conversation last time, I still went out down there to City Hall and protested. I did do that.
You did, and if you don't like who's sitting down there at your city hall or your school boards, go down and vote them out. I implore some of your followers, y'all go run for these seats.
Yeah. Well, see, this is the thing too. A lot of these seats is an age limitation. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like we need youthful representation in office, whether that be on a national, or a state level, because these ideologies are from older white colonialist men. And you know what I'm saying? And they don't speak for everybody here.
Run at the local level. There are no age limitations at the local level outside of being 18.
Really?
Of being 18 at the local level, there are no age limitations. Age limitations start for U.S. Congress and above.
I did not know. Thank you for the info. Yeah. So what I'm getting from you, if I can put that into like a spiritual word, if you see the need for change, be the change that you see the need for, right? Yeah. Whether you do that on a national level, but I'm more so focused on what you're saying, like a community level. You know, we've talked about me in politics before. I do have desires to get into politics, especially after the late Eric Mays made his appearance being as unapologetic as he was. What do you got to say about Mr. Mays, my friend? Because I know we banter about him sometimes.
I love that man. God rest his soul. I love that man. That man is when I was younger, if I had seen Eric, that man is what would have got me involved in politics. Just to stand up to people and say things like, your point of order, out of order. That to me, and that was a man who knew the game and how to use the phrases, and that's why they couldn't get rid of him.
And he was in Flint, Michigan, if I wasn't mistaken. He was a person of the people. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Mays? Like, he spoke what they would be speaking in that seat. It was just so unconventional that he became a problem, but a good and entertaining problem, and he actually got work done. So let's just give a moment for Mr. Mays. Now, with that being said, so what we are going to bear witness to today is Nikki Haley getting kicked out the fucking race. Was there anybody else on the docket, honey?
No, Marianne Williamson, who took her name off the ballot for the Democrat Party, but then put herself back in, is running. And then for a third party candidate, you have Robert Kennedy Jr., who if people swing, Robert Kennedy is the son of Robert Kennedy, or Bobby
Oh
Kennedy
shit.
somehow. Yeah, he is a third party candidate. He
Okay.
might have a shot of coming up in there, but I still think in the long run
It,
it
it
ain't
ain't
gonna
gonna
make a difference.
it ain't gonna do what it
No,
needs to do. So basically, what we're gonna bear witness to is Trump getting the fucking seat. Let me ask the question: how is this happening when he has so many legal battles that he's facing right now? Should he be able to continue to run? I know that there was something that was turned down before this happened by the Supreme Court, and everybody on the Supreme Court said that it's unlawful for us to say that he can't run. How is he able to do this? Like, what's going on?
he's able to do this because there's nothing saying that he can't do it. We've never seen a candidate that's like this, right? He hasn't technically been convicted of any felonies.
Not
He's
yet.
been sued a lot of times, so he owes a lot of money. He's holding up all these court cases. We're waiting to see if the Supreme Court will hear whether or not he's entitled to a blanket immunity, which changes the entire
That
game if
means
presidents are given
that while
blanket
you're
immunity.
running for president, you can't be tried or convicted for anything,
Yeah,
right?
he's going to say I was president like that. I can't be tried for any of that. This
Interesting.
this will completely change the game and the integrity of the game. And we often have conversations about what makes a democracy.
Yeah.
And that actually turns this democracy into an
It,
authoritarian government.
yeah, it kind of makes it look like the term democracy is a sugar cookie in terms of what the fuck it really is. It's more about the free thinking mind rather than being able to, actually constrain somebody, a criminal, for running for the president of the United States. All I want to do at this point is prompt my audience. Had that been a black man?
We wouldn't be having this convo.
And see, what's happening is the person who brought him up on those RICO charges, they in her business. They trying her as if she is on motherfucking trial, right?
Uh-huh.
Because lawfully speaking, she had the right to actually bring him up on those charges,
She
right?
did.
So what you do is you defame the person that brings you up. But had that been not even black, let's just say Hispanic, let's say Asian, anybody else but a white man would have been down for it.
It's true. So, and that's the other thing. Donald Trump is a walking contradiction. Everything he tells the Republican Party he doesn't do, he does it, and they're all okay with it. They say we're evangelical Christians. Well, he done cheated on his wife, had babies outside of marriage,
His son
and well, that's
on
fine. He's
drugs, he
the
might be in
chosen
that
one.
cell next to fucking Jordan.
He's smoking crack on
Yeah.
live.
Okay. So I don't
So these are all the things we're getting
it
into now.
so how do we let me ask you. I know I'm keeping you longer than I said I was going to,
You're
and
fine.
I know
You're
you got
fine.
mayor
You're
stuff to
fine.
do. But ho- we see it. The people see it, right? We see that this ain't right. It feels unjust, right? What the fuck we supposed to do about it? I mean, do we protest, or are they gonna get the water hoses on us like they did during fucking segregation? Like, how do you change a system and you're subject to the rules of the system you're trying to change?
The honest truth is to organize. So I come from a background of labor. The honest truth
Hmm.
is you organize. And the voter apathy that you see people have, the one thing I can say about being black and growing up in a black household when it came to voting, my family used to sit down together and say, like, this is why we are feeling we should vote this way. This is why
You
maybe we get back into
had
that
political
community spirit.
conversations at your house.
You
Yeah,
have
we
to.
don't.
We
I've never
we
had
don't
that.
have these
Hmm.
conversations anymore.
Hmm.
We just let it happen because we say, "Oh man, that's just the system, and it's going to be what it's going to be." If our families had thought about it like that, we wouldn't even have the right to vote. Mind you, the right to vote only happened in 1965. My mom
That's
was born in 61. It hasn't even been 100 years.
yeah. My mom's
So if they had just
77,
sat
and she
there,
remembers that day. She remembers that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to think about it like that. Let's start organizing ourselves in our small little groups and saying, fine, take you
I'm
and two
gonna
people to the polls.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you for a little bit
Okay.
though. Okay, because we're talking about the voting, right? And to me, that was during the time period where black people, we weren't considered three-fifths property of a white person, right?
Yes.
Right. We were no longer property. We were actual human beings. Do you feel like the powers that be gave us that as a mission to keep our focus on something to fight for so that we weren't fighting for our land?
Yeah.
or our reparations or
Yes.
something else. I feel like it's a distraction
Yes.
tactic that they've used,
Yes.
which
Because they
echoes the
told us.
point in me feeling like my vote don't matter. Like
Right.
it doesn't.
Because
It's
they told us if you guys vote, then you can actually get all these things, right? Because that's what they told us. It was the same way when
oh,
they
so they
told us
lied.
go. I mean, is
Systematic
it
lying.
the same people that came here from religious persecution are the same folks persecuting us all now?
Damn. The Anglo-Saxons, they didn't want to submit to Great Britain's religion, so they came over here seeking religious freedom, then kicked the Indians that were already here on nature preserves, okay? And how do I know? Because I have a cousin who's actually a princess of the Cherokee tribe here in North Carolina. And they pay them, no. They're still getting paid to this day. She get a check. She don't gotta work a day in her motherfucking life.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but she's full-blooded Cherokee Indian though. Like you have to have a percentage or something or some type of system that they've created. It's so I don't know. I feel like I'm in a Pokemon move called Trick Room. I don't know if y'all ever played Pokemon before, but a Pokemon will cast this move and it'll have you thinking that you're fighting in a whole nother place that you ain't even at. Um, what would be your final thoughts with this conversation, though? And again, I love these political banters with you. I do have a passion for ushering in change, and I have a passion for attention, too. So, of course, in my 40s, I'm going to enter into the political arena. But as of right now, today, what would you tell me as a voter? You know, as a reflection of my fan base, you know, what would you tell me? What can I do to make a change? Why is it that when I think about politics, I get paranoid? Bitch, like this shit, I feel like I'm being manipulated from above, bro. Y'all supposed to serve if motherfucking goddamn gay protect. You know what I'm saying? So what would you tell me to make me comfortable with not only the process of voting, but what's going on politically as we speak?
I want you to be comfortable with the process of voting because fine, I don't care who y'all select for president because that's going to be what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us already know that game is set. I want you to vote because my children and future generations and everybody else's family, they depend on those things that are going to happen at the local level. They
Mm.
depend on how those funds are going to be spent, what's going to happen at your school district, how they're going to fill those potholes, those things about the judgment, the police budgets. We're always talking about that,
Where's
right?
my tax money
Those
motherfucking going, bitch?
those things are all decided at your local level. And it's not just going to affect you, it's going to affect all of your little cousins around you because the voting we do today sets off future generations. It's never going to be a result of the next 5 years for us. I think 10,
Mm-hmm.
15 years down the line. And that's how all of us should think when we're voting.
That's beautiful. Straight up. Straight up. And I love your passion for the system too. Like you, again, we have sessions and she talks like 5 minutes about her personal life, and then other than that, we talk about how Mitch McConnell almost passed the hell out.
He was glitching that day. He was glitching. They had to reset him. They had to do a factory reset.
Just like Katy Perry and that one eyeball she did on that damn stage that one time. No shade. Um, where can people follow you and find you? Do you do like what are you up to, Shay? Like promote yourself a little bit before I
Oh,
read
okay.
this.
You can find me at Barnard for Moval, BARNARD, the number 4 MOVAL. That's where I post a lot of what I'm doing around the city. I don't get into a lot of the banter like everybody else because, yes, I am in my position, so I try to hold a little
Yeah.
tight to that. But you'll find me around town doing stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Is there any way we can donate to? Are you representing any charities or anything right now?
Right now, no, I haven't put all my stuff together for my campaign. It's coming up over the next few weeks, but no. Honestly, I know you're always like promote yourself, but I just really love talking to the people and
Doing the
wanting
work.
them to learn and doing
Doing
the
the
work.
work.
And I know, I've seen the comments. The system is broken. I believe that, but I also believe we have to want it to change. My babies depend on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got some very, very special babies, honey. Because if they depended on that shit, we might need to get a lead on it. Everybody, Mayor Pro Tem of Marina Valley, California, Miss Shay Bernard. Thank you.
Bye.
Now I know how to get you out of here, Shay. You got to end it.
I got
Hold
you.
on,
I
let me
got you.
see.
Hold on. We got it.
There we go. I got Okay, and clearly they dropped the numbers, and I didn't purchase any today, so that's actually. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get an updated reading on the goddamn gay presidential election. All right, Spirit, is it okay for me to read this? This says yes, but it says that the outcome is not fixed either. Okay, what do I mean by that? That means that there is a crossroads, and I'm feeling like this is going to manifest itself in June of 2024. Right around that time period, I wonder if Kamala will then become the president again. There is only about what, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 8 months for her to actually reign as president. Now, look, I did pop a receipt on that already because when Joe Biden was put under anesthetic, she was, for 48 hours, the first female black president of the United States. So there indeed is a semi-receipt already with that, right? But two, do I feel like she is going to be the president prior to this election that is going to go down? I do foresee this, and this actually could manifest itself in June. Just know that in June, something is going to shift the trajectory of the election. What's Nikki Haley going to do? She's gonna go quiet. I don't feel like she's gonna endorse Donald Trump after she doesn't get this party ticket or whatever the hell she's going after. I actually feel like she's gonna get quiet. What does that mean for the Trump campaign? He's gonna garnish some of her votes, but not all of her votes. So Nikki Haley, as a healthy Republican distraction from Donald Trump, good job, but no cigar. Okay, if it is down to Biden and Donald Trump, who is going to win the presidential election this year? This says Donald J. Trump will be the president of the United States if something doesn't throw this campaign off its course in June of 2024. And baby, there will be hell to pay. Okay, there will be hell to pay. He's coming for blood. He's going to bend and break every single fucking rule, and he's going to be laughing at us at the top. Well, let's just give him his 4 years, let him get the fuck up out of there, child. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how bad is he gonna fuck this shit up? Well, not as bad as we think, but I do feel like from a political overlook, he's gonna have a lot of tomatoes thrown at him. I mean, but keep in mind, when he left office, people lost their lives. You know what I'm saying? And when you wear that kind of karma, I mean, there's going to be some karmic repercussions for your actions. But this does say that, yeah, it's leaning towards the Republicans taking over the presidency when it is time to vote. Is there anything that can happen that can change this? We got to wait till June. Something's happening in June that is going to completely shift the trajectory of this election. So I'm honestly going to call this reading a dub until June, honestly. But something will manifest itself where I feel like, again, this is Biden falling ill and Kamala taking over. And then when that happens, I think she's going to be on a campaign to keep her seat. Because I feel like she's just going to taste it one time and she's going to want more of it. So then she's going to start to actually have to campaign. And then Trump is just coming for blood. But these motherfucking legalities are on his ass. The only thing is, I feel like it's just going to get hot legally, but I don't feel like it's going to be any lit cigars legally for Donald J. Trump. That has been a nationwide reading and beautiful conversation with Mayor Pro Tem of Marino Valley, Ms. Shay Bernard. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, hand clap in the comment section. And I'm about to do a quick game of terror roulette with you. I'll be right back.